Hello, folks, and welcome to LAIKA. Friday Night LAIKA, that is. We are here for another wonderful session of crafting a story together and making something. And today's idea is that we're going to start with this small prompt here of 5 days ago, everything fell apart. And I've found this wonderful collection of stories by AI. They're a beautiful Substack newsletter that you can sign up to, where they have gorgeous stories written with the aid of AI. And you can submit a story, and they might even publish it. Let's hope. Let's cross our fingers for that to happen, because that's what I'm going to do today. Hopefully, with some help, but if not, I can do it alone. So I've already even crafted the email that we're going to send at the end of the session, which has the application with a submission. We're ready to go. We've got it all set. All we need to do is write the story, which has to be less than 1,000 words, and then send it in. So here we are, ready to go. I'm just going to take a small sip of my drink here and get myself gathered, ready to make something. So I think where I got this idea for this line is probably from watching The Last of Us TV series lately. There's something in the air about dystopias, about things falling apart. What happens when things have fallen apart? Where do we go from there? And what can we do when that kind of thing happens? And so this line just came to me when I was thinking about what we might like to write about today. And I started testing it out with a bunch of different brains. So I've used it with a lot of our community brains, which are like our users who've uploaded their own brains, putting in things to see what might occur there. I've used it with Lovecraft, Dostoevsky, Marcus Aurelius, Alice in Wonderland, Kafka, Sheridan Le Fanu, and even some other ones uploaded by users, like some of our personal user brains. And there's one that gave us quite a lot of interesting content, which is from the SCP wiki. So somebody uploaded a lot of content from the SCP wiki, and that gives us a kind of a window into a world where magic is real. That's the idea there. So getting really interesting stuff from that. So I'm just going to start writing, and let's see where we get. And I think, let's see, who would I like to start with brain-wise? I think I would like to start with Lovecraft, because he is really good in the arena of dystopias and unsettling things going on underneath the undercurrents of malevolence and weirdness. So let's see what we get. Just going to see what happens and move from there. My mother, who had never been a woman, had vanished. My father, who was a man, had been found dead. The house was burned down, and I had no means of returning to my father. Okay, that's quite dramatic. Let's see what else we get. The men were all dead or insane. I was alone. Could not tell them what had happened. They had no idea what happened. They thought I was insane. They thought I had killed them. Okay, I really like this one. I had no idea what I had done or how I had come to be in this situation, and I did not know what to do. Okay, I'm afraid that this one has to be the winner, because it feels like it's holding on to some sort of like little crystallized piece of anxiety that you could imagine in a situation where 5 days ago everything fell apart. I had no idea what I'd done, how I'd come to be in this situation, and I did not know what to do. I love it. Oh, hello, Catherine. Hello, welcome. Nice to see you. So we're just making a story. We are going to be submitting it at the end of this session, and we're going to use as many brains as feels right to use. So please pop in anything that you like as we go through. Okay. And if you're wondering who ITU Games is, Catherine, it's good old Martin Pietelmeyer. That's how he knows who you are. Okay, I had no idea what I'd done or how I'd come to be in the situation. I did not know what to do next. I only knew one thing, and that was, and let's see, maybe, I think Algernon might be good for that one. And that was to go and see the doctor, okay? Or I only knew one thing, and that was that I had no idea what to do. Okay, I really like that. I called upon my friend, okay? And that was to get up from my books and go downstairs to the kitchen to find a cup of tea. That's a little bit dull, I feel like. So I'm kind of between the doctor. I don't think the doctor is all that interesting. I'm going to go for the second one. I did not know what to do next. I only knew one thing, and that was that I had no idea what to do. I called upon my friend, and I've never forgotten. Well, never is a bit much, isn't it, since it was only 5 days ago. I called upon my friend, who was in a bad way. And he told me, well, let's see, what kind of situation are we in here? I had no idea what I'd done. I only knew one thing. I had no idea what to do next. So I called upon my friend. I asked him, I'm not sure about I asked him. But maybe we go back, like you said, Catherine, the first words he said to me. I don't know about the never forgotten, just because it was only 5 days ago, so it's a bit hard to say I never forgot since it was only 5 days. But I will go for what he said to me, the first thing he said to me. So I called upon my friend, and the first thing he said to me was, and I'm just keeping track of who we're actually using here for the submission at the end, so we can say exactly who we used as part of that. And the first thing he said to me was, and let's see what kind of interesting person we can get for this. I'm going to use a community brain for this. Let's use a fragmented mind and see what that one has to offer. I think we used that the other week as well. You can't be here anymore. Oh my goodness, I like that a lot. You can't be here anymore. Where is my father? You've got to keep out of people's way. I didn't know what to do. I love this. It's like, you can't be here anymore. Where is my mother? You can't be here anymore. Where is my father? You've got to keep out of people's way. What are you afraid of? Okay, I think we can probably combine a few of these things together. The first thing he said to me was, you can't be here anymore. You can't be here anymore. And wait, what was the second thing? You've got to keep out of people's way. You can't be here anymore. You've got to keep out of people's way. I didn't know what he meant by that. So I asked him, what are you afraid of? He slammed the door in my face. I could hear his shout from behind the heavy wood. Afraid? I'm afraid of. Let's go for one of the classic lads here. See, one of the brains I've got. Let's go for Camilla. No, House in the Borderlands. I'm afraid of. Whoops. Did I do something wrong there? Afraid? I'm afraid of nothing. Nothing really. I just don't like the idea of being alone. Well, you just slammed the door in my face, buddy. So, not sure about that one. Afraid? I'm afraid of nothing now. Okay. I'm afraid of nothing. Okay, it's very clear that it's telling us that we're afraid of nothing. So, you can't be here anymore. You've got to keep out of people's way. What are you afraid of? He slammed the door in my face, but I could hear his shout from behind the wood. Afraid? I'm afraid of nothing. I'm afraid of nothing. Just leave me alone. So I did. I walked back down the stairs from his loft and into the empty streets where nothing remained of the old ways, where nothing remained the way I remembered it. What happened? Okay, let's see what happened. Going back into my private brains to find something else. So what did we use there? We used House in the Borderlands. And we also used fragments. Really racking them up here. A little grim. That's a nice idea, Catherine. Let's use a little bit of grim and see what happened. I was seized by the soldiers and put in a soldier's cart, which took me to the gallows. I was seized and taken to the king. Or a soldier. Okay, so I'm kind of interested in the soldier, but I'm also interested in being taken to the gallows. I mean, not interested with a capital I, but interested in what it could mean for the story to be taken to the gallows. Because I suppose when I asked what happened, I was thinking more about like what had happened before, what was the strange thing that happened. But this one kind of points us in the direction of what's happening now, whereas whereas the other one, and this one, is pointing us in the direction of what happened before. So what happened 5 days ago when everything fell apart? You are a vagabond, yeah. So I'm not sure which one I like more. One that's telling us about what happened in the past or one that's going to tell us about what's happening now. I think it's kind of interesting to go with the one that's happening now, because that's still keeping us a little bit like, we don't know what happened. We don't know what had been done. We don't know what's going on. But all we know is we don't know what to do next. And now we've tried to get help from our friends. And now we've been seized by soldiers and put into a cart, taken to the gallows. This is pretty extreme for 14 minutes into the story. But let's see what happens. So, where nothing remained the way I remembered it. But wait. Wasn't there? Isn't there? My thoughts were all jumbled up. All jumbled up. Like what? This is always my weakness as a writer. I could sit and just stare at the screen and think about what the metaphor is going to be for another 20 minutes. And I can almost hear Mar thinking in the other room, like tears in the rain, like clothes in a washerwoman's bucket. Yeah, I think something like fabric is good. Um, I like bringing it to fabric. My thoughts were all jumbled up. Yeah, let's go with your clothes in a washerwoman's basket. Like clothes and washerwoman's basket. But wait, wasn't there? Isn't there? Jumble up. Like clothes in a basket. Washerwoman's basket. I could feel my memory returning. I was seized by the soldiers and flung to a cart which took me to the gallows. Okay, so I'm thinking there's a few different brains that are going to have interesting things here. There are few brains that are going to have interesting things here. So Robespierre will be good. I mean, that's a man who was seized by the soldiers and flung into a cart and taken, well, in that case, to the guillotine. We can also think about Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky, the kind of Raskolnikov vibe from Crime and Punishment, of like this sort of dread of being, you've done something terribly wrong and you're just about to get your comeuppance, is also there. So I kind of feel like Robespierre and Dostoevsky they're kind of in my next frame of reference, but I don't want to drag us too close to the gallows before we know anything else that's gone on. Maybe there's something we aren't meant to remember. That's a nice idea, Catherine. Yeah. Which took me to the gallows. Okay, well, maybe we should have a little conversation or try to have a conversation with one of the soldiers and see what happens there. So we did a user testing session yesterday with 4 really awesome testers who sat and played with LAIKA for the first time while we watched them try to do everything. And one of the girls had a beautiful way of thinking about it when she was writing so much, just constantly. And when I was asking her about her process and how she was feeling about what she was doing, she said, well, when I'm working with LAIKA, it feels more like I'm discovering a story than creating a story. And I really liked that idea because that's what it feels like to me on Fridays when we do this this little participative sessions. Is like, it feels like being out like an archaeologist with the little brush, dusting sand off the bones to find the story underneath, more than like making it yourself. You're finding it. We're keeping it. Yeah, I thought you would also agree, Catherine. I'm glad I remembered to mention it here. But yeah, discovering it. So maybe if we talk to the soldiers, we can discover something a little bit more. So let's see. When I was seized by the soldiers and flung into a cart, maybe into their cart, which took me to the gallows. And now, all of a sudden, the streets were filling up again. People coming out of their homes, shouting and jeering at me as the cart rocked over the cobblestones. The soldiers looked at me with disgust. Something else too. Fear. Could it be fear? Okay. Oh, that's a really nice way of thinking about it, Catherine. A metal detector is finding a signal on the ground. Yes. So, what do you think? Do we want to go the Dostoevsky route for our next inference, or do you want to go with the Robespierre for the next inference? If you have any thoughts, let me know. Oh, no problem, Catherine. I totally get it. Okay, I'm gonna say Dostoevsky then. Oh, you say Robespierre. Let's go Robespierre. I want to be outside my own space. I think Mar made Robespierre, so we'll find him down here somewhere. There he is. Okay. Oh, Poe. That's a nice idea, Catherine. Yeah, Poe is also a nice space for us. It's amazing. We have so many writers in LAIKA who are all about guilt, guilt and dread and fear. Okay, so let's see. Fear. Could it be fear? I don't think so. I saw the same faces on both sides. 100 like that. And more still to be counted. Okay, something interesting there. I don't see any other explanation. Or the repulsion which came from the knowledge that I was betraying my country. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go with this first one, but I'm gonna take out the I don't think so and just say I saw the same faces on both sides. Fear. Could it be fear in their face? Card 2. I counted at least 100 like that. Okay, strange repulsion. Yeah, I think strange repulsion is good. Can we bring strange repulsion back in? Let's change disgust to strange repulsion. The strange repulsion. A strange repulsion or just strange repulsion? A strange repulsion. Fear? Could it be fear? Right in their faces. Around and saw the same faces on both sides of the card too. I counted at least 100 like that. But I couldn't understand why. What on earth could I have done? To be in this position. I tried to explain. There must be some mistake. They bound my hands and gagged me. Okay, let's see what Poe has to say. I think he's one of my favorites. Ooh, Melmoth would be good too. Melmoth is very intense. Okay, looking for an object in the darkness. They said I was mad. They said I must be delirious. I'm just wondering about this business of having slept through the night and what that means. Because, of course, something happened in this town. Is it a town or a village? Should we already say? Okay, you can't be here anymore. You've got to keep out of people's way. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of nothing. Just leave me alone. Okay, empty streets. Nothing remained. Okay, then I get taken, which took me to the gallows. I'm going to change that to towards the gallows so that we can keep the people on the streets shouting at us. And now all of a sudden, And the streets were filling up again. As the cart rolled, the streets filled up again. People came out of their homes, shouting and jeering at me as the cart rocked over the cobblestones. A little bit too much cart here, I think. It began to move. The streets filled up again. People came out of their homes, shouting and jeering at me as the cart rocked over the cobblestones. The soldiers looked at me with strange repulsion, but something else too, fear. Could it be fear I saw on their faces? But I couldn't understand why. What on earth could I have done to be in this position? There must be some mistake. But they bound my hands and gagged me. Okay, so now I'm really wondering, Catherine, you have something to say. I picture that like people were hiding away almost under curfew, exactly, until we were captured. That's what I was thinking as well. And that whatever it is that we did, could it have something to do with this? I must have slept through the night. How would that be a bad thing? Could that have been could this be some sort of marker for something that we did wrong, or that the draft of the poisoned water? So there was some sort of like offering, some sort of thing that happened here, and we were given the choice of doing something and we chose something wrong or didn't. But this one is very, very enticing to me, this particular piece. But let's see the other two again. Okay, looking for an object in the darkness. It's not interesting, I don't think. I don't feel a resonance with that one. And then they said I was mad. They said I was delirious, and I gasped for breath. I mean, that seems okay, but it's not like super interesting. Not as interesting as this last one. Yes, and is it taken the water, like drank it, or sort of, oh, I must have taken a draught of the poisoned water. Now that's very interesting, Catherine. Did we take it or did we drink it? I automatically thought we drank it, but I like the idea we could have stolen it. Okay, let me just think for a second here. To kill someone, yeah. This is a really tricky one. I love it. It's probably not very interesting to watch and be part of at this exact moment because I'm a little bit too into the zone. but I am really enjoying trying to piece together. My brain is like going whir, trying to figure out the sleeping through the night and the poisoned water. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm going to get it immediately. We might have to come back to it in a little while. They said I must have slept through the night. They said I must have taken a draught of the poison water. I had no idea what they were talking about. And I was felt at liberty. I was free. I'm just going to write that down because I think that this could be the end. The pain had gone. Okay. But I had no idea what they were talking about. The cart trundled on, and a woman stepped out of the crowd and shouted at me, saying, okay, so who would be good at shouting? Perhaps we were afflicted, and that night we slept well, then felt better, felt free, hypnotized. Yeah, I was wondering, like maybe the poisoned water was some kind of like a hypnotizing draft, or maybe maybe we actually just like had a few drinks and went to bed, and somehow that was actually a really bad thing to do because everybody else was working hard at some very important thing, like maybe beating back a siege of the town or something, and we were basically a deserter because we just lay down in bed with our draft. Gotta bring in Shelley. Yes, maybe we bring Shelley in now and see what Mary has to say. Is she in here? I think she's in here somewhere. Featured. Is Shelley not in here? Pooh, did I really take Shelley away? No, there she is. Whew. Okay, saying what? What do you intend to do? Okay, I'm hired by the government. Not very interesting to deliver a letter. I think we're beyond letter delivery now, vibe-wise of this story. That she'd been watching the whole time. Or that she was the physician who gave me the draft. Are you then the murderer of my brother? Said the woman. Okay. It's happening. It's happening. We have the draft, and therefore we have connected to something together. We still don't know what exactly happened, but we know that we have the draft. Okay. A woman stepped out of the crowd and shouted at me, saying that she was the physician who gave me the draft. Are you the let's take out the then, we don't need to be so formal. Are you the murderer of my, not when we're murderers of her brother. Are you the murderer of my brother? She shrieked. Okay. So we have the draft. Now I'm just going to take one moment here to do a quick word count, because we need to make sure that we are under 1,000 words. And of course we can edit later, but I just want to get a feeling of what we've got. Okay, so 368 words. We're doing absolutely fine for words. Absolutely fine. Okay, the woman stepped out of the crowd and shouted at me, saying she was the physician who gave me the draft. Are you the murderer of my brother? She shrieked. This is really weird. Okay. I couldn't speak. The gag in my mouth. But I shook my head, imploring her to believe me. My eyes to implore her to believe me. She spat on the ground. So, okay, the question is, who is her brother? Someone important. Well, yeah, and did we kill him? And if we killed him, like, would people really be like hiding in their houses and lining the streets in anger to follow the gallows cart of a man who killed one man? Is that really all we did? If we did anything at all? If the person was important, I mean, the woman who's the sister is a physician. Yeah, that could be, he could be quite important with a doctor sister. But what is the draft? Okay, I think. Hmm. Hmm. I'm starting to think that it all has something to do with sleep. There is a connection of sleep and this town. And we, I, you, us, people, the hero, or the, not hero exactly, but the protagonist, something happened and we slept through the night. Other people did not sleep through the night. Or perhaps the draft does make people sleep, and the sleep, it's either like the sleeping or the not sleeping, is a thing that led to a great disaster, a great catastrophe. Something very, very bad happened. And either because because the whole town was asleep, or I was asleep, or not enough people were awake. But there's something to do with sleep, and the connection of the poisoned water has to do with the sleep. So perhaps we somehow poisoned the water, but the physician gave us the draft. So this is very confusing and interesting to think about. This is one of those moments where it's like, I love doing Friday Night Like Alive, but this is one of those moments where it's like, okay, I just want to pause for 20 minutes, get out my pen and paper, and figure everything out, and then come back. Catherine, what are you saying? Either way, it has to make sense so the doctor would admit to giving us that draft. Exactly. Exactly. Now, I wonder, I mean, of course, we can still edit everything that we want. So it could be that the physician identified the draft, for example, instead of gave it to me. But I wonder, I think the poisoned water makes people fall asleep. Okay. It is a kind of a sleep, it's a sleeping potion. So if we drink the poisoned water, we'll fall asleep. And so we must have fallen asleep through that whole night. And perhaps what? I'm totally stuck. I'm totally stuck with what happens next, or how these things connect. I think I'm going to have to remove one of the things. I just felt like I really connected with the physician because she had the draft. But yeah, there's too many random bits somehow to connect. Um, mm. But yeah, I think we slept through the night. We took a draft. And I'm going to take away the physician having the draft. Alice, yeah, that's a great idea. It's a great idea, Catherine. And a woman shouted out of the crowd and shouted at me. And I'm just going to take out the draft thing because I think otherwise we're just in we're just in a strange place. And shouted at me, "Are you the mother? Are you the murderer of my brother?" Okay. And shrieked at me. "You the murderer of my brother?" I shook my head, pleasing my eyes to implore her to leave me. She spat on the ground and turned away. Okay, let's just see what Alice has to say. Because I don't know what to do next. Are you the mother of my brother? Actually, we have Alice now, and we also have Poe. We haven't had Dostoevsky yet. Do you know the rules of chess? No. No, Alice, no. I asked the Dormouse. Okay, you wanted weird, Catherine? You certainly got weird. And this box. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this and try again. But there's something there. It's talking about that object in the dark again. You're thinking about killing me, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm thinking about killing me. I was overcome with fear. Look. What harm? Okay, I think we're going to have to retcon a little bit of more knowledge back in. Look. What harm did I do, really? The comet was coming. We could see the red streak in the sky for days. All I did was help those who could not help themselves. Yeah, I wonder, Catherine, I'm starting to think we actually gave people a kind of a sleeping potion that killed them. A lot of people in the town. And we did it out of the goodness of our hearts so they wouldn't die when the comet hit, or so they wouldn't feel the comet hit. Something like that. And now, but of course, that feels like it might be. There's the thing about the sleep and the draft, but with that, we're going to have to go back and like massage that a little bit backwards and a little bit less with the, oh, little old me, well, what are you even doing? I mean, I was just trying to help. So we might have to put a little bit more of that back in. But let's see. Okay. What harm did I do, really? The comet was coming. I could see the red streak in the sky for days. All I did was help those who could not help themselves. And here we stand, and here we are in this scarlet tinged world where nothing makes sense anymore. And they want me to pay for the end of the world we knew. I can pay. Let's see who else. I think Carmilla would be good. And then I think we'll try that SCP wiki a little bit. Let's see. Did I already try Carmilla? I don't think so. I can pay. Oh, the drama of waiting for the inference. But where shall I find the money? Where shall I find the money to pay? Okay. Okay. I don't like those. I'll try one more, and then if I don't like it, we'll go for a different brain. It is the only way, after all, I shall ever get out of this, and I have no other way. Okay, I like that. Poor wretch's fine blood. Whew! It is the only way, after all, I shall ever get out of this. That's enough. It is the only way, after all, I shall ever get out of this. And the cart rolls on. And I can see the gallows now. A red rope against a red sky. The heavens themselves plead for me. Okay, I think some dosto. Let's get some dosto in. I shall be hanged, I shall be hanged, I shall be hanged. Yeah. I shall be hanged. Do they think everything will be better then? Do they think as my legs twitch and my neck snaps, their loved ones will return? That the sky will clear back to blue? And the crops will grow? And everything will be happily ever after? Can they be so naive? Can they be so naive? I'm very flahuluk today with deleting things I don't like. Now, I'm going to change this. Can they think the world is going to end? Don't they know? Don't they know the world is going to end in a few hours? And this is how they want to spend their last moments. It went better for their relatives. Gentle sleep. rest, and then no more. Oh, I'm into this one now. I'm really into this one now. But there's a lot of retconning that needs to be done in the last few minutes. Okay, so let's see. We've had Kafka, we've had Carmilla, we've had Alice. I think we need a little bit of Marcus before the end. I think Marcus will have the final word. But let's see. The soldiers. The cart stops suddenly. I fall to the ground. Dark earth. Dark earth. And a worm. There's no more idea of what's coming. And the soldiers do. The soldiers carry me to the gallows. The noose around my neck. Let's see. Who else has something for us before Marcus takes it home? Or maybe Journey by Moonlight. Okay. They loop the noose around my neck. It's no use fighting. The time has come. And I've got nothing to live for. Neither do they. They don't accept it yet. A shout. A crack. Brief flash of pain. And then liberty. I am free. Red, the red of the sky. Then less of darkness. Liberty. I'm bringing back the liberty and the free. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think we bring a little Marcus here on the end. If he has something to add for us, Journey by Moonlight, just got to add in that we used that as well. And then let Marcus have the last word. See what he has to say. Bring it home, Marcus. They don't approve of what I'm doing. I bet they don't. I want one more go of Marcus. And at peace. Okay, just gonna leave peace. I'm free and at peace. Okay, so Marcus takes it home. So now I think we need to retcon back, now that we know that the actual story is that there is this comet in the sky, and the comet has come down and crashed into the earth. It has turned the whole sky red, and clearly the crops are not going to grow. And at least our protagonist believes that this is it, this is the end, and there is nothing after this except dying in a few hours. And so he thought he was helping people by giving them the sleeping draft the night before so that they all died. But clearly, the rest of the people in the village who do not believe that the comet spells the end of the world think that he was in the wrong. So now we got to bring it back and edit it out a little bit. So 5 days ago, everything fell apart when the sky turned red. Turned red. I had no idea what we had done. What we had done to anger the gods. Or how we had come to be in this situation. I only knew one thing. No idea what to do next. Well, I did know what to do next. But I knew it was the end. So this morning, when I woke to the blood-drenched sky, clouds, I only knew one thing. It's the end. I made plans. Yes, we definitely know what the friend meant. That's true. But I knew it was the end. I made plans. So this morning, when I woke to the blood-drenched clouds, I had no idea what to do next. When I woke to drenched clouds, alive, I had no idea what to do next. So I called upon my friend, and the first thing he said to me was, "You can't be here anymore. You've got to keep out of people's way." I didn't know what he meant by that. So I asked him, "What are you afraid of?" I'm afraid of nothing anymore. Just leave me alone. So I did. I walked back down the stairs from his loft and into the empty streets where nothing remained of the old ways, and into the empty crimson streets where nothing remained of the old ways, where nothing remained the way I remembered it. But wait, wasn't there something? Actually, the whole thoughts thing doesn't really matter anymore because we're not doing the thoughts thing, so we don't need that part. One thing remained the way I remembered it. But wait. Cat in a doorway. Wait. Cat in a doorway. Basket of vegetables. We already have a basket. Parcel. Vegetables. Wrapped in newsprint. Butterfly. Landing. Wasp. not all lost. My thoughts were all jumbled up, like clothes in a washwoman's basket. I was trying to remember the truth. I was seized by the soldiers. The streets filled up. People came out of their homes shouting and jeering at me. Fear? Could it be fear? I counted at least 100 like that. But why don't they understand? Why don't they understand? I tried to explain. They bound my hands and gagged me. With bitter eyes and vicious lips. They said that I should have slept longer than the night. They said that I should have taken a bigger draught of the poisoned water I fed. Poisoned water. I added to the village well. But actually, we don't need any buts there. The cart trundled on. A woman shrieked at me, "Are you the murderer of my brother?" But I shook my head, using my eyes to implore her to believe me. How could she see this red sky, this bloodied sky, and think, and blame me? Turned away. Look, what harm did I do? The comet was coming. I could see it for days. Where nothing can live for long. You can pay. Cart rolls on. Ooh, I like that, Catherine. How can you murder what is already dead? That's beautiful. Let's put that in. How could I murder what was already dead? Or soon would be. It's the only way, after all. I shall ever get out of this. Cart rolls on, and I can see the gallows now, red rope against a red sky. Gentle sleep, dreamless rest, and then no more. Cart stops. Dark earth presses against my cheek. No use fighting. The time has come, and I've got nothing to live for. Neither do they, but they don't accept it yet. Okay. They should thank me. Where will that go? Thank me. Okay. Okay, I think this is it. Gonna read over it one more time and then submit it. So, everything's I knew you would done where we come to be. I made plans this morning. The bridge includes alive. Called upon my friend. The first thing he said to me was, "You can't be here anymore. Got to keep out of people's way." What are you afraid of? I could hear his shout from behind the heavy wood. Afraid? I'm afraid of nothing anymore. Just leave me alone. So I did. I walked back down the stairs from the loft. Wait, a can't doorway. Maybe it's not all lost. My thoughts were all jumbled up, trying to remember the truth. The truth. The red truth. Seized by the soldiers. Fear. Same faces, 300 more severe now. Why don't they understand? Are you the murderer of my brother? Couldn't speak with the gag in my mouth. What harm did I do? Comet was coming. I can pay. I see the gallows now. I shall be hanged. Do they think everything will be better then? Maybe so naive, don't they? Well, the world is going to end in a few hours. The worm. Okay, I'm happy. So I'm going to save it, and it downloads us now a really nice docx file that we can see here. It's just going to open it up for us with pages so we can see all the colors are even still in here. And I'm going to save it as, can I save as? Save as, and what will we call it? Oh, good, I didn't think about a name. Yes, exactly, Catherine. It's always someone who seems like a nightmare but isn't quite such a nightmare under the surface. Okay, I don't want to actually save it as pages. I'm going to keep it the way it is and change the title later. So now we're going to go to the drafts, and I'm just going to put in you as well, Kat. So today, myself and my friend Catherine. Okay, so we have all the stuff in there. It's all ready to go, and we will attach it. So I'm just going to perhaps downloads. I'm just going to change the name of this to what do we call it? Comet. And we'll attach it here. The comet. Okay, and we're going to the contact. We've got our story submission. We're all ready to go. And I'm just going to send it now. So, Kat, I'm just putting my finger up here, touching my finger to the webcam. So we're connecting in creative power. And here we go. Oh, I wanted to say the names of the people that we worked with. That was it. Including Lovecraft, Algernon, Blackwood, Robespierre, Marcus Aurelius, Lewis Carroll, Mary Shelley, Sheridan Le Fanu, Edgar Allan Poe. Is that it? And a few others, and more. And that's enough, I think. Okay. Great. I'll send it. Done. Okay. And that is, and where we're sending it, for anyone who wasn't here at the start, we're sending it into Stories by AI, which is a lovely Substack that that showcases stories written with the aid of AI. And we're sending it in and hoping that they will publish it for us as a little interesting experiment. And that is our story from LAIKA today. Thank you so much, as always, to Catherine for being here and helping that inside of 1 hour. Well, actually, it was 1 hour and 10 minutes today, but we managed to make a whole long story and also publish it or send it in for publishing, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So thanks so much, everyone, for being here today, especially Catherine, and we will be back next week with another Friday Night LAIKA. Have a great weekend.